It's hard to start and have like a normal standing face. I think when thinking about stress, it's important to remember that it's a normal reaction. Plants, animals, humans, we all experience stress in different ways, whether that's physically, psychologically. Like, stress is a natural reaction to any threat or challenge, actually. Some stress is actually good for us. Like, that pushes us to be driven, it pushes us to achieve kind of targets that we've got. That actually gives us the drive and the energy to do things. But it's when it tips over and actually affects our day-to-day tasks and kind of affects our management of what we're doing, that's when it can become a problem. It's always good to think about the connection between mental health and stress, because actually some mental health issues could lead to having stress, or kind of more stress, and some stress could actually lead to the development of mental health issue as well. So there are many different symptoms of stress. There are many kind of mental symptoms, psychological symptoms, but also physical symptoms. So mental ones such as inability to concentrate might lead to kind of apathy, anxiety, irritability. Physical wise, could be headaches, could be problems with sleep, could have changes to periods. So it really depends on the person. It is very possible to be stressed and not realise it, especially I think in the society that we live in. So when you live in a society where you're told to achieve lots, whether it's day to day, but also in your life, like that all leads to us just wanting to achieve more and more and more, which is just unobtainable. So actually we live in this constant heightened state of stress. And often we just don't even have the moment to relax and think, actually, does it need to be this way? And should we feel like this? And that's when, maybe it's only when that becomes a physical health problem, that stress actually turns into something different, that we realise that it's been a problem. Stress is different for everyone, so we've all got different coping strategies and different strategies to reduce it. Some will work for some people and some will be really different for others. One thing to look at could be looking at your triggers, so it could be something from your working day that sets off those physical or psychological symptoms of stress. Whether that's deadlines, whether it's an email from a particular person, it's good to kind of sit and reflect and actually think, what has happened to me in that moment? How have I felt those symptoms of stress? Is there anything I can do to reduce that in the future? Similarly, outside of work, it might be a particular relationship with someone that's a bit tricky, or running for the bus and missing it. It could be anything like that that kind of builds that feeling of stress. A common way of reducing stress is talking to someone. So whether that is a family member, a friend, whether someone at work, if it's a work kind of place stress, it's important to have as good as you can support network around you so that you've got those people to go to in those moments of stress, which helps relieve it, perhaps find a solution to whatever the situation is, but definitely helps to share that load. Thinking about stress as well, it's also good to think about on 3 different levels. So there's individual stress, so some of the things, whether it's to do with your working day or kind of your individual relationships. There's also group stress, whether it's, for example, a family in response to a bereavement. There's also societal stress, such as COVID or such as wars going on in the world. And actually a way to reduce that is taking action in the community, whether it's signing up to groups, whether it's going on protests, kind of joining campaigns. That's a way to reduce that societal stress.